Welcome back, guys, to another tutorial. Today I'm gonna show you how to create Moon Knight from scratch. So let's begin. Okay guys, so let's start with erasing everything in the scene. Let's import our 3D model, and if you want access to the same 3D model, go down to the description where there will be instructions of how to get your hand on this 3D model. It's completely free, of course, so just go down in the description, guys. And if you do use the 3D model, please subscribe and like so I can give you models like this for free. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, now we're gonna add materials. We're gonna start with the material tab down here. We're gonna erase it with the minus key, add a new material, base color like grayish. Just gonna go viewport shade so I see what I'm doing. Then I'm gonna go to edit mode. I'm gonna click one of the eye and then press L, shift click, press L, and we got both eyes. Then new material, new, assign, then back to object mode, then scroll all the way down at the material tab to emission and white. Something like that, guys. Next step is shadow catcher and lighting. So go to render view right here, but before we add shadow catcher or lighting, go to the render properties, from Eevee to cycles, scroll all the way down to film, and check this box that say transparent, and shift A, light. I'm just gonna use the sunlight, drag it up, G and Z, double click R to just rotate it a little bit, something like that, and then shift A, mesh plane, R, X 90 degrees, then move it backwards. You can move it backwards with these arrows right here. I'm just using G and then Y, something like this, I would say. And we're just gonna make it entirely black, this material, so it gets a nice dark shadow, something like that. Then go to this object properties, go all the way down to visibility, shadow catcher, something like that, and duplicate it, rotate it 90 degrees, and move it up here, guys. So kind of like a hoodie, kind of something like this. And then next step, we're gonna add camera and background. But before we do that, go to viewport shading, click on your 3D model that you want to use, like this, right click, shade smooth. Then I'm just gonna click this button back so I can see what I'm doing. Then I just want to parent these planes to the head. So click on one plane, shift click on another plane, and shift click on the head, Control P and object, and then you can see, guys, we can move just the head and the planes goes with it. So now we're just gonna press the two planes and hide them with H, like that. And now it's time for adding the camera. So I'm just gonna go from front like this and add camera. Go to the side and let's move it. We can move it to this button here, as I told you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna move it something like that. Camera view right here. Underneath camera properties, we can go to background images, check that box, press this arrow, add image, then movie, open. Just gonna go to my, where I know I got the movie, right here, something like that. And we're gonna G and Y to make sure that the head is far enough away from the camera so it gets kind of like the same size that the head in the footage, something like that. And just gonna double check. Yeah, that looks great, actually. Yeah, great. Okay, so the next step is to animate the head. So make sure that you check this box down here. and then double click R. Just gonna drag this upwards. Double click R to rotate the head. But before we do that, make sure that you click this box, auto keying, super important. And then we want our end frame right here. Right in your end frame, mine is 117. So that's why I'm writing that in there, right there. I started with frame 1, rotate it to the place where you want it. To see it better, you can press this button up here. Just rotate it so it matches, and then go like 20 frames forward or something. Just gonna rotate it so it's lining nicely. Something like that. I want it to align something a little bit better, something like that. And going frame to frame, just checking in between the frames, rotating it, moving it to the right place. You guys understand the process, I hope. It's not super hard, it just takes a little bit of time. G to move it, as I'm doing right here. R to rotate it, and then click just click on the mouse to not cancel it, but to make sure that it's saved, you know. Rotating, clicking, G, moving, clicking, something like this. Yeah, so you really need to just go frame by frame. It's really simple, and I think you understand the process good enough right now. Let's make sure that you don't like resize the head. Make sure that you move the head closer to the camera instead. Okay guys, so I actually have my animation ready, so I'm just gonna use my animation. When it's done, it should look something like this. Yeah, so it follows pretty well. Yeah, something like that. Now it goes super slow. You can see it here, right here, guys. I'm going a little bit faster. Yeah, something like this, guys. And then we just gonna make sure the render settings are correct. So go to this box right here. Actually 30 frames per second. PNG, so we can have transparent background. Then choose the folder. Click and choose the folder you want. I want folder, create a new folder right here, named it mask, and just put my frames in there. Then the next step is to actually just render it out. Don't think there is anything. Yeah, right here. Motion blur, if you want to add that, just adds more realism. Takes longer time to render, but I think it's worth it. So I'm checking that box. Just so I have motion blur, and then go. Then just render up here and render animation. And I click that button like that, and that's it. Okay guys, so the render is done. Sorry guys. The render is done now, guys, so let's go on to the next step. That's actually just masking out where I want the face to be, kinda. So we're just gonna go from here to move clip editor to clicking this button right here to choose the footage. Something like this. I'm just gonna change this to masking. Up here from tracking the mask. Play it through so I can see what I have to do. Something like that. Just as so we need to make sure that the face is underneath the hoodie. So we need to erase my face right here. But I'm not gonna erase the face. I'm actually just gonna tell the mask around the overall like around here, the hoodie part. Just gonna try this. So let's do this. We're just gonna go create new mask and then hold down Control, click, Control, click, Control, click, Control, click, Control, click, and just keep going like that all the way here, and then Alt C to close the mask. Okay, and you see we still have the keyframes here, something like that. Okay. So now then, just gonna erase. No, I'm not. Okay. Now then, I'm just gonna go to frame number 20, so I know how the mask needs to be right here. Okay, so you can see here now. Here, we just need to follow this part because it's everything that we just need to cover the part that's gonna be in front of the face, and that's gonna be this part right here, and not that part. So just gonna keep working like this, then something like this, and we're just gonna move these guys with G, of course, just the same process as before. Moving this guy, everything we want in front of the face. Just gonna be moving it here right now. Something like that, I would say. You see, guys, really simple mask. Making it as simple as I possibly can. Going frame by frame, kinda. Making sure that it actually follows through like this. This is not super fun maybe, but just helps with the final result, so it's gonna be worth it. Okay, now we're at a little bit trickier part, because now we need to decide which frame we want overall shapes to turn. It doesn't hurt to go like outside the hoodie right here. Just that the face is pretty much like inside like this, and let's see here now. Okay, you can kind of like see here, guys, that here you haven't really like made it correct. So we're just gonna need to erase the first keyframe. Because we're just gonna take what's around the entire thing right here, and right now it's very simple. Just gonna drag it down like this, make sure that fits nicely around like this. Something like this, yeah, so it goes around. Doesn't need to be perfect because we're just gonna blur it out a little bit in the end either way, so something like this is gonna be working just fine. Right here we just need to move them all into place. That kind of works. I think actually that's gonna work as well. Just making sure that they actually cover up the hoodie a little bit. Right here is a really important line. Make sure this line is nicely, very nicely the entire time, because this line is the most important masking part. Okay guys, so I just finished the mask, so let's go on to making this a finished piece. Okay guys, so in the next episode we're going to make it to a finished piece. We're gonna do the compositing, some more masking, and just making it finished. So I hope to see you next time. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. I'm real excited to make this guy finished, so see you next time.